Hi, I'm Sam from Cycleshack. We are situated very close to the South Downs Way, and behind me here is the Long Man of Wilmington, popular with both walkers and cyclists alike. Today's video is a fairly simple one. It's about kind of what to do if you get a puncture on a ride. The downland that we've got behind us is quite flinty actually, so it's quite common to get little nicks in your tyre and therefore kind of punctures. So we'll run you through what to do. When I ride my bike, I ride with one of these Dakine bags. It's great. I can put all my tools, pumps in it, and on a cold day like today I would normally have my down jacket in, but I forgot that. So I'll walk you through the process now. So you're going to start out by just removing any additional air that's still in the tyre if it's been a slow puncture, for example. So in this case I've just pressed the valve, press the little washer in on the end, it will let any extra air out, and then you just need to remove the washer that's just stops the valve from rattling around. Pop that somewhere safe so you don't lose it, so I'm going to pop it in the bag. Your next step in the process is going to be unseating your tyre. Now this is a fairly new tyre and rim combination. It's not been ridden particularly far, so it's not seated particularly well so far. So it's quite easy to do. You squeeze the tyre in and you're just getting the tyre bead to pop away from the rim. So if you do that on both sides, it'll just make life infinitely easier. Your next step in the process is going to require a tyre lever. You can use one or two to do this. A lot of mountain bike tyres you get away with just one. So you're hooking it underneath the bead and rotating it around the tyre, and it will just get one side of the tyre off the rim. You'll then want to remove your old inner tube. It's worth hanging on to these because you can repair them. We also recycle them at Cycleshack as well, so do feel free to pop old inner tubes into it. At this stage, you just want to check the inside of your tyre just to find what's caused the puncture. It might be a thorn, might be a piece of flint. Just be kind of careful with your fingers, just running around, just to find what it is, and then try and remove it. So if it's something sharp, if you've got a tool handy, you can kind of push it back through with that. In this instance, I know there's nothing that's caused the puncture. We just let the air out of the tyre. At this stage, I'd normally grab a fresh tube out of my bag, but we'll just recycle or reuse the original tube. So if it's a fresh tube, you just want to put a little bit of air into it, just to give it a bit of shape to make life fraction easier. You're then going to relocate the valve through the valve hole, give it a bit of push, make sure it sits in nicely, then get the rest of the tube sat into the tyre. Nowhere does it want to be folded over. We're then just carefully going to pinch the tyre back round, trying to get it to sit into the well of the rim, and just be careful not to have the inner tube caught between the rim and the tyre bead itself. You can use tyre levers at this stage to help you with this process, but just be careful doing that because you can puncture cause a pinch puncture with the inner tube. In the case of this setup, I should be able to just roll it on with my hands. There we go. Fairly cold hands today, so I've lost a little bit of dexterity for doing this. So a good reason for popping a jacket or something nice and warm on whilst you're kind of at the side of the road doing this, or the side of the trail. So that's all seated nicely. You just want to check kind of either side of the bead just to make sure there's no inner tube that's kind of cracked out. In the case of this, we know we're fine. Just grab your pump. On a mountain bike ride, I carry a bigger pump like this, just because you can be there for ages otherwise, kind of with these high volume tyres popping air into them. When I'm road riding, I carry a much smaller pump, or in the winter months use a CO2 canister just to speed the process up. tube. And get pumping. Once inflated, particularly with mountain bike tyres, you just want to make sure that the tyre is seated nicely all the way around. So in the case of this one, it has seated really well there. If it's not quite seated, let a little bit of air out, just manipulate the tyre around a bit and then re-inflate, and you can always put a little bit too much air in it and normally pop into place. Then it's as simple as popping your wheel back in the bike and getting riding again. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and if you've got any questions or queries, just get in contact with us at cycleshack.co.uk. Thanks very much.